Howdy! So, a couple days ago, I made a video, basically, that was a tier list of all of Team RWBY's designs, and that was fun, I liked it a lot, and as is so often the case, what happened was, I finished that video, and I uploaded it, and basically that same day that I uploaded it, I had the thought of, well, looks like I need to redesign Team RWBY. So I did that. This is by no means the first time I've done this, but I just wanted to try my hand at, you know, harnessing everything I learned from my ranking video and try making my own Team RWBY designs again. So that's what this video is. It's not a drawn out, you're not gonna watch me illustrate them, but instead I'm just gonna be showing you what I came up with and telling you how I came up with them and stuff. And there'll be a little announcement at the end of the video, so stick around until then. Okay, let's just go. Let's start already. So first up, of course, we have RWBY. And the main thing I had in mind when I went into designing RWBY was there's no need to try and reinvent the wheel. After looking through all of RWBY's designs, you know, I've come to the conclusion that we don't need to try to change her up too much. We don't need to push the barriers. RWBY's original design was excellent, and so there's no need to try to stray too far away from that, you know? However, I did want to upgrade the look a little bit. I didn't want to literally just copy her Volume 1 design, because that'd be stupid. But instead, what I've done is I've taken some inspiration from her Shiro look and the Hunter outfit, and I put her in the overall dress situation, and a different collar. And I think, you know, the most interesting part is I did gank the glove gauntlet things that she's got from Volume 7, because I do like those. I think they're a fun way to kind of, like, you know, show RWBY is, you know, she's thinking more about how to fight properly. You know, the sleeves kind of get in the way. This does help her look like, you know, she is growing as a character, without making her just, like, feel like a totally different person, which is why I've kept I kept her original hair. I think the new haircut is cute, but I don't really think it fits RWBY all that well. I see no good reason to give her the haircut. So I kept her original hair, and I kept her in a big skirt, because there's nothing wrong with liking big skirts like this. Like, yeah, she's growing up, you know, RWBY's not 15 anymore, but as an adult, you can still like cute outfits, you know? There's nothing wrong with still enjoying the things that make you happy, even as an adult, even if it's a cute skirt like this. And also, it kind of helps push the innocence vibe that the show wants RWBY to have. But yeah, just black and white and red. Technically some of the white is silver, but I figured that was okay because she's got her silver eyes. Yeah, nothing too special here. Basically just wanted to keep RWBY in her original colors while upgrading her to be a little bit more combative. Next we have our snow princess, Weiss. Weiss, again, you'll notice I took a lot of inspiration from basically her Volume 1 outfit and the Snow Pea outfit from Volume 2. That's because, you know, I kind of had the realization, yeah, I've always liked the black and white look for Weiss. I think it looks very cool. But I realized throughout my video how much I think just black and white and maybe red works better with Weiss than insisting on adding blue. So that's why I was really insistent on not having any blue, and a part of me looks at this and thinks, oh, it's too simple, I should add more details. But then another part of me remembers how excellent her Snow Pea outfit looked, and it wasn't bogged down with gradients or sparkles or, you know, patterns or anything, and sometimes simple is better, you know? But yeah, I really wanted to bring it all back to her original kind of vibe. I specifically really wanted to get her in a high collar again. And another part of me kind of thought, oh, I should have red somewhere else on the outfit as well. Like maybe as like fancy clasps on her shoes or something. And I decided against that because I liked emphasizing where her head is, with just the pop of red up there. And also because I think it's good of me to learn that sometimes an outfit doesn't always have to be balanced in terms of color like that. You know, sometimes just having a color in one area can do better than insisting on splattering it across the outfit. I'm learning. We're growing. We're growing as we go. Again, you'll notice that I kept her in the ponytail because the braid looks awful, and it was a horrible idea anyway. The ponytail is so iconic. Changing it was so stupid. I hope they get rid of the braid. And yeah, and for her, I decided Weiss gets to keep these big sleeves, because since she's just a summoner now, she basically just uses the sword to point at people. So fuck it, give her the big sleeves. I think they're cute. I love huge sleeves like this. So yeah, and it gives her a really fun kind of silhouette as well. Very bell-shaped, which is super cute. Next up is Blake, and the big realization I had with Blake throughout my video had been to just not give her sleeves. That I think Blake looks best when her arms are mostly bare. Specifically, I think it's her shoulders that are the important part, but whatever. So yeah, I did not give her sleeves. I had waffled around between giving her like a full tank top or a crop top. I decided to go with the crop top to kind of just help break her up a little bit. Because it looks more fantasy that way than just a tank top, you know? Other things of note include the fact that I've given her these like fancy chaps situation going on, kind of reminiscent of, I think Emerald and Raven have a similar thing. Blake's legs tend to have a lot of detail going on in them, and I think that works by keeping her, like, torso more simple, and then making her legs the more, like, the focal part of the design. I think that works really well, and I'm really happy with what I came up with here. You'll notice, again, it should be evident by now, that another big thing I had in mind for all these designs was, I don't want any extra colors. I want red, white, black, and yellow, and that's it. So no purple on her, and honestly, I think it works, because instead I kind of augment her with gold accents, because somebody's gotta have gold in their design, actually. They might as well make it Yang's girlfriend, you know? And I think that does a better job of, like, kind of highlighting elements on Blake, without also, like, muddying the waters with, and also here's purple, doing another kind of, like, drawing your eye over there as well. So yeah, I think just using the yellow in tandem with the black and white looks super cool. I've kept her in mostly black, but I did like the idea of white pants to give her a little pop. And I had really missed the bow. I think we all missed the bow a little bit, but I didn't want to cover her ears, so instead what I wanted to do, I chose to give her like a big bow on the back of her like collar, like maybe the shirt is tied up with this huge bow, and also she gets to have these long like ribbons coming off of it, which kind of look like more cat tails, which is super cute and super fun, and they already have ribbon technology, so super durable as well. They would probably be shorter, but I'm a fiend, and I tend to go overboard with long, pretty things like that anyway. But yeah, this is one of my favorite designs I've come up with for Blake. I like the asymmetry with the gloves, because it makes her feel more dynamic. But yeah, super fun. I really like this. Oh, I should probably mention her hair. As opposed to the others, I decided to keep the short hair for Blake, because I think it's nice to have some change, especially because the black hair, like a lot of it, tended to kind of take precedent. It made it feel like you were limited on how you could allocate the black and white on her. With the shorter hair, it feels like you're more free to just put her in a black shirt, actually. And yeah, it kind of works with after her beating Adam. By the way, I mentioned, like a billion years ago, in my Volume 7 outfits discussion, that, yeah, I quote, I say, having her cut her hair after beating Adam would have been trite, but at least it would have been something, because the way they present it in the show, it feels like she just decides, let's do something a little bit different. I've gotten so many comments of people saying, in some countries and cultures you cut your hair after you break up with a loved one. Yes, I know, I referenced that in the first half of that sentence. Cutting it after beating Adam would have been trite. You know, her ex. Like, pay attention to all my words. The problem is they waited a whole volume between, like, him dying and her cutting it. That's what made it feel like that wasn't related. Jesus. And finally, we've got Yang, who kind of as an antithesis to RWBY, where RWBY was, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. For Yang, it was, we need to invent the wheel. Because I feel like Yang's designs have never been all that great. I liked her Volume 2 look a lot, but her main outfits, I feel like they've never really looked like they work within the show. And so I was determined to not put her in brown and to actually put her in yellow. And what I actually used as, like, sort of a main point of reference was the Chinese mobile game, where they put her in this futuristic Tron-esque outfit, because, you know, she's got her, like, motorcycle, and I thought that was a cool idea. I think, like, having her be a futuristic kind of biker girl, a sort of mech suit, sort of inspired design, I think that's a lot more interesting and unique than just girl wearing a leather jacket. So that was the basis, was I looked up like mech suits, like, you know, that kind of stuff, and used that as my inspiration for Yang. And I think it turned out really cool. I like the black and white jacket, kind of helping her body stand out from her hair. And yeah, these like double belt things I slapped on her thighs, this seems to be a popular thing currently. I've seen it multiple times on different characters. So yeah, she's hip. Yang can have the hip new fashion trends and have the double belts on her leg. Cosplayers could slap a pouch onto that and be able to carry their phone around. Easy peasy. I've actually stolen this belt from Pyrrha's like old school sketch that Monty had made for Pyrrha. I had recently done drawn out of that design, and I thought it was an interesting like belt design, because it's not like a leather belt, but instead it's like a metal one, which it would be difficult to make actually work, but I liked it. I liked it a lot, so I decided to incorporate that into Yang, rolling with her kind of metallic mecha sort of vibe we were going with. And yeah, basically just keep it simple. I wanted her to be top heavy, since her hair is such an important element of her. So just, you know, big jacket, but then just this like kind of skin tight mech suit situation. It's simple, but I think it works, and it's really fun and cool, and I like it a lot. And there we go. That's my Team RWBY redesign. I think they look super cute. A part of me, you know, thinks, you know, oh, should I have pushed the boundaries more with RWBY and Weiss? But as, like, an enhancement of their original designs, I think this is cool. Kind of like how Jean gets this a lot, where he just gets small upgrades every volume. I guess I was kind of inspired to do something more similar to that for RWBY and Weiss, as opposed to put them in something completely new, like how I did with Blake and Yang. I think they're fun. I like them a lot. Let me know how you feel about them. Do you think they're boring? Do you think they look amazing? Whatever. Just be nice. And yeah, I think this was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun kind of playing around with Team RWBY's designs. I think they're a lot better than the previous ones I did. You can find a video to that somewhere. Oh, there will be a link. And yeah, in time for that announcement. Okay, so because I've made this video, I've had a ton of people like sending me like their designs for RWBY, or talking about what they would do, and good. Okay, do that. Tweet at me, please, because what I want to do is I want to make a video looking at your designs and kind of seeing how good those are. So first, a couple things to keep in mind. One, I'm not going to be nearly as like harsh on designs who I think aren't that good, because you guys aren't getting paid for this. Like, it's a different thing to critique other like fans versus actually critiquing the content creators, like making the actual show and getting paid for that. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna be like awful to you. I'm not gonna tell you it looks like shit. However, I will still be honest. If I feel like the design could be improved in some way, I will still be expressing those thoughts. So don't eagerly tweet at me hoping that you'll just get a bunch of compliments. I might think your design is the bee's knees, but keep in mind that there is an opportunity that I will tell you what I think could be done better. Another thing to keep in mind for this is, so I want them to be identifiably Team RWBY. So, you know, I'm only gonna be critiquing the design. Don't worry if you think your art looks bad, like if you think that you can't draw. If you can at least come up with a cool outfit for the girls, that's all I'll be, like, paying attention to. So don't worry, I won't talk about how, like, your eyes are different shapes, or the hands are too small, or something like that, if that's what you're worried about. But importantly, I don't want you to, like, do this thing where it's like, I decided to make one of the girls a different skin tone because I like it better that way, or I decided to make them gender swapped, or I made it's an AU where they are grim. No. I'm not gonna be looking at designs that totally alter the characters. I'm not gonna be looking at your OCs wearing a RWBY skin, you know? I want it to be Team RWBY. How they are. You know, of course there are things you could alter, like, oh, I chose to change the way Weiss styles her hair, or someone's hair grew longer, or cut it shorter, you know, something like that. You know, maybe, you know, I think someone else would lose another limb, something like that. If it's still identifiably Team RWBY. Don't send me, like, designs for crazy AUs. If it's gonna be an AU, have it be like time skip AU, or, you know, an AU where Beacon didn't fall, you know, something where you're still working with Team RWBY as they were presented to us, starting with at least Volume 1, okay? Just pretend like you have been hired to make the new outfits or new designs for Team RWBY starting for Volume 15. What do you come up with? So yeah, please. You can feel free to, tweet at me all these designs. Feel free to explain any of your thought process behind them. But, you know, don't send me, like, to a Google Doc that's, like, 15 pages long. I'm not gonna read your fanfiction to understand your designs. So, just be aware. Like, keep it brief. Also, if I get, like, hundreds of responses for this, I can't pick everybody. I'm sorry. If only, like, 20 people reply, then you're more likely to have everyone show up. Just be aware, I'm only human. And also, I'm giving you a month to get all this done. So, 1 month from now, I will have the date on screen. That's the deadline. Stop sending me your designs on this deadline. Like, this is the last day you could do it. Because I can't just wait for forever. And of course, the final thing is to remember to have fun. Because what's the point of drawing if you're not enjoying yourself? But yeah, that's this video. I just wanted to share the designs I came up with for Team RWBY, and invite you all to tweet at me your cool designs. Hope you have a great day.